Welcome to my YouTube channel. That stinks. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome to my YouTube channel. I don't know how to act in front of a camera. My granddaughters are always watching these YouTube videos where everybody in it is just on 11, just cranked all the way up, just running around, screaming, jumping up and down like maniacs. That ain't me. Who cares? Maybe 50 people are actually going to even bother watching this video. So relax. Just be yourself. Kind of just get into character here. Don't bore everybody.
Too late.
Okay. So welcome to my YouTube channel. One of two. I got another one on here that I'm starting up at the same time as this one, but more on that in a bit. I guess I'll just jump right in with full disclosure and do a little self-indulgent video about myself. All right. What the hell? Until about 6 to 8 months ago, I knew nothing about video editing or lighting or SEO or what the hell aperture was. I mean, I still don't kind of, but I'm learning everything as I go and doing every little bit of this myself. And as the channel name indicates, I'm an introvert who loves shutting himself out from the rest of the world. But for some crazy reason, unbeknownst to even me, I decided I'm going to just throw my anonymity to the wolves, just the the lynch mob, the fallout wasteland of social media, and chase after a dream. The thing I keep asking myself over and over again, like, am I really ready to subject myself to the cruelty of the internet? Because I've been completely fine with being just an average nobody for the last 50 years. I'm at peace with it. And odds are, in 5 years I'll still be one, but who knows? We'll see where the hell this goes. But as of right now, I'm just a regular dude living a quiet, boring ass life in the me first state of New Jersey. Everyone always says, your comfort zone could eventually become your prison, if it goes unchecked for too long. And this is way in the hell out of the safe zone, if I'm being honest. My antisocial Geiger counter has just gone completely radioactive, just clicking away loud as hell. Like, dude, what in the hell are you doing? Turn around and do not look back. But here I sit. And until I started this channel, I got to say, the most public thing I've ever done with an audience in the last 30 years is give a very short, stuttering best man speech that I had to be about 3 to 4 shots in to pull off. Thank God for Johnny Walker. I'm not the performer type. Normally, I'm a very self conscious dude loaded with self-esteem issues, and you can even ask my wife. She will tell you I am a boring fuck. I'm a total loner, and my favorite place is at home on my couch or in here dicking around with all my bass guitars. Even my friends, what little I have, even around them, I'm pretty much an NPC who no one would ever accuse of being the life of the party. I just kind of lurk in the background most of the time, just like, on the neurodivergent weirdo that I am, just lying below the radar. Like I can't even bring myself to sing happy birthday with everybody else at a birthday party. I just kind of stand there off to the side and just milli vanilli my way through it like some tool. The thing is, though, throughout this whole crazy adventure over the last 6 to 8 months or so, whenever things get rough, or I start to doubt myself, or I get that icy anxiety feeling in my stomach kicking in. My mind just keeps going back again and again to a quote from this movie, A Most Violent Year.
When it feels scary to jump, Ian, that is exactly when you jump. Otherwise, you end up staying in the same place your whole life.
Now, one thing I've learned since the good old days of MySpace and AOL chat rooms, if you have thin skin, the worst thing you can do is share your opinion or your accomplishments with the internet. They're just so damn supportive. I'm sure it won't take long before someone to completely piss all over me in my dreams. And I got to say, I'm still a bit apprehensive about doing all this, but I'm not going to let my normal pessimism derail me and just keep me where the hell I am right now. I mean, what the hell is there to be so afraid of? You're only exposing yourself to like 8 billion people. What the hell can go wrong? Now, why in the hell would I do this to myself? Okay, well, as long as I'm bearing my soul here, reason number one is that I'm staring down having spent half a century on this big blue marble of ours, And I have zero retirement prospects and a financial position that ensures I'm going to be working a very physical job until the day I drop. It's really that simple. Life moves pretty fast. Reason two is I want to do something finally that I'm really passionate about. Like Bukowski wrote, find what you love and let it kill you. I'm not saying that as a contractor, yeah, I don't enjoy dealing with picky building inspectors all the time, falling off ladders, tiling floors hunched over and crawling around for hours on end till my knees are killing me, or sweating my ass off in the summer heat with construction debris stuck to me like I'm a walking granola bar. I would just prefer to hopefully be involved in something a little easier on my body for the next, hopefully, third of my life or whatever the hell I got left. Of course, you can ask, all right, who the hell cares what some contractor from Jersey thinks about movies? Well, no one yet. But movies and music are the things I'm the most passionate about, like, especially movies. I just connect with the whole world of filmmaking. There's something about that just has always stuck in my head. Ever since I was like 8 years old, I've always been a total savant about what movie won Best Picture in 1970, what won Best Visual Effects in 1987, who directed the movie Midnight Cowboy. It's weird. I could meet someone in person 5 times and still not remember their name. But if I see your face in a movie just once and it's stuck there for the next 40 years, I always know the name of that guy or that girl and who directed what. The point being, it's my life and what I'm passionate about, and I want to be involved in it somehow. Look, you see these friends and family used to give me these things, these movie trivia games or whatever, for a birthday or Christmas. Look, I'm always grateful for anybody who thinks enough of me to buy me anything at all. But I mean, if you look at, they're in pristine condition after all these years. Some of them are in the original wrapping, and that's pretty much because it'd be like playing an English professor in a game of Scrabble. No one wants to play with me. I mean, it would help if I actually had friends.
Oh, why don't you shut up?
But that's besides the point. Now that I'm done, humble bragging and beating my chest like an arrogant douche. The thing is, I know a shitload more about movies and music than I do about remodeling bathrooms. And on the plus side, it's a hell of a lot more fun to talk about and a hell of a lot easier on my joints. So the big gamble here is I'm going to partition out the content for 2 channels, one for music, one for movies, because, well, why start one channel when you can start two and have twice the workload and stress? Yay! Go big or go home, as they say. It might be better to consolidate everything down the road, but I have so much passion for both subjects. I don't want to limit myself to only just one channel. So, channel two is for all things music related. And this one, Introverted Movie Guy, deals with all kinds of movie nerd shit. Movies to me, they're more than just mindless entertainment. I mean, they can be. They can also be art. They can be educational.
I'm gonna have to science the shit out of this.
They can be a time capsule that drops you in 80s pop culture, or something that lets you hang out, spend 2 hours in gritty 70s New York City. They can be nostalgic. They can challenge you intellectually. They can even change your life. Whether it's horror movies, 70s grindhouse dramas, film noir, comedies. I mean, I love all of it. I got to confess, I used to like rom coms, but only in the 90s. That was a shameful phase of my life that I went through for some stupid reason. And sorry, but the only rom coms are off the table here. The only Hugh Grant movie I'm going to possibly touch on here would be the movie Heretic. I watched a ton of that sappy shit back in the day, so I do have a lot of experience to draw from on that genre, but I've been out of the loop on those types of films for decades now. As far as music is concerned, well, my tastes are even more diverse in that area. I love all aspects of the emotional spectrum that music pulls me in. Jazz, R&B, blues, easy listening, folk, pop, country, hip hop, punk, metal, rock, classic rock, movie scores. I don't care what it is. Growing up, I was never the kid that hated his parents' music. I never understood other kids like that. Disliking music because your parents love it or simply because it's old and it was made before your dumbass arrived on the planet. Like when you're 10, you're only a couple years removed from thinking the greatest jam you ever heard was on Daniel Tiger's Neighborhood or Peppa Pig. You don't know shit then. I grew up in a very musical household where my father played bass and piano and trumpet. He had bands he played in ever since he was a teenager. A lot of his friends were musicians. My mom used to sing a lot. I remember when I was a kid, I used to listen to the jam sessions my parents had going on down in the basement. When it comes to music, I love pretty much everything. I'll be honest, when I was a kid, my appreciation for anybody like John Denver or ABBA, yeah, I kind of kept that shit to myself on the DL, back in my school days, especially because I didn't want to give the bullies another reason to make gym class suck even more. Hey guys, this douche, he listens to Neil Diamond. Let's kick his ass. That was the 80s. Kids, they beat you up for your musical taste back then. At least they beat me up over it. Not that they really needed much more of a reason, but all right. I don't care who knows what I'm into now. I'll fight you. I don't give a shit. I'm not in high school anymore. I don't care if it's Taylor Swift, Nickelback, or Slim Whitman. If I like it, I'm listening. So there. I'm going to try to keep posting weekly or bi-weekly. That's going to be a challenge, but I'm going to see where this all goes. Because balancing this with a full-time job, it ain't going to be easy. And like I said, I'm making this up as I go. I do know I'm going to have a hell of a lot of fun doing it. I already am. So I might keep it going even if no one gives a shit. As time goes on, I might niche down a little bit harder and just stick to one thing, or just maybe become just another horror movie related guy. I might be all over the place, just throwing things out there and seeing what sticks. And then maybe I can dial things in a little tighter. Or I might just stick with one diverse channel of topics relating to movies and music and TV. The thing is, whatever you read or see on YouTube, as far as like what is the best approach when starting a YouTube channel, there's so many schools of thought on what's the right way to do it. But the way I'll look at it for now, all right, when it comes to content, at least, is it better to be a Home Depot or a paint store, a Walmart or just an auto parts dealer? Even in my business, we don't stick with doing just drywall or just tile or just painting. We diversified to cover as many phases of the job as possible. So we sub out less and we keep more money for ourselves. However, that said, I know this is social media. This is a whole different dog eat dog type of animal here. I'll also be pursuing freelance writing as a side hustle, and that may end up being my main business. Who knows? I think YouTube is pretty much going to end up the side piece to the side hustle of writing, but I'm already pretty sure I'm taking on more than I can handle. But I'm hopeful that one day it'll eventually lead to great things and I'll have even more time to devote to content. The pros definitely outweigh all the cons here. And if this thing does go anywhere, cool. But if it turns out I'm not happy doing it or I can't handle the stress of it and I realize that I got a hell of a lot more than I bargained for, I'll just ghost your asses. Done. I really hope I've kept this video from sounding like the ramblings of a madman. Too late. I just wanted to share a bit about myself and give you an idea of who the hell you're watching here. It's often said that it's never too late to start something new. What the hell? Sam Walton of Walmart, he started that in his 40's. Comedian Rodney Dangerfield, he's an aluminum siding salesman until his 40's. Colonel Sanders was 62 when he founded KFC. Ray Kroc, I think, was just a few years older than I am now when he founded McDonald's. I'm aware this is a hell of a career about face, but I'm here. That's what matters. That's a start. And I know I'm going to make a lot of mistakes along the way. I already have. I expect that. That's how we all learn. I don't know what the fuck I'm doing here. I'm just going to have fun. And at the very least, God willing, maybe make a little side money to keep things going and experience something different that doesn't require my couch. So please subscribe and help keep me from having to start an OnlyFans. It might take me a minute to reply to comments because I may be new to this, but like I said, I'm a social media OG. And one thing that's always been consistent since those days is that a lot of you people can be fucking mean. So it might take me a little bit of time to work myself up before perusing the comment section and answering anybody's questions and whatever. So until I can think of something better to say to close out future videos, I guess I'm just going to say thanks for watching this. Help me start building up a subscriber base by hitting the button below, and let's see what the hell happens here. I'm happy having anyone willing to listen to me and my ramblings and nonsense. So until we meet again, later.